I'm Nicole Jones, host of Mediocre to Masterful, a podcast teaching you how to go after your goals that you've pushed to the side. This is a resource to help you be fearless with your goals and familiar with the feeling of success. This podcast includes best practices to elevate your goals in multiple areas to help you pursue mastery over your life. I am here with Adria Hookes. A native of Atlanta, Georgia, and is a highly sought after certified business coach, global speaker, and social media strategist who maintains an expansive portfolio of business, including founder and CEO of the Divine Success Sister Network and the Business Bay, which she'll be talking about today, and Powerful Men in Style. Adria, thank you for joining me today.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm excited. We're going to have fun today.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is going to be a great episode. This one is, because of your platform, the Business Bay, it's clearly more centered around entrepreneurship. Before we get into all those cool tips and tricks that you want to share with us, tell us a little bit about Business Bay. Like, how was this born?
Well, the Business Bay came about after my years of experience of women empowerment and bringing women together and supporting business owners, women business owners. And then when I mean just support, I mean investing in their events and buying their tickets or showing up or sharing their business, really truly in supporting women and as entrepreneurs, providing a lot of business resources, being the plug for them, knowing a little bit of everybody. And if you need something from someone, ask Adria because she will know. And then I grew into being a certified business coach, and I needed a superhero name for myself, something that really described who I really was to my clients or the relationships that I was having with them. And the Business Bay just worldwide out. I didn't have to write a whole bunch of different names. I didn't have to, come sit and ponder on it. It just came naturally. And I had a confirmation when I went out with some girlfriends to a networking event that I had that plopped at the time. Nobody showed up. It was like 2 girls that were there. It was crazy. But we took a picture and she put hashtag the Business Bay, and that was confirmation. I was like, yeah, that's it.
My goodness. Yes, that is confirmation.
I had already started the trademark process on the name. I didn't even make the name public yet or anything like that. And she posted hashtag the Business Bay, and I said, girl, that is so crazy because I can't believe you said that because I just trademarked that name. I haven't even told anybody about that name. And so that's how I knew that was the perfect name for me. And what it really means is that the relationship that I have with business owners or even my clients is I'm Bay. I'm committed to you. I'm loyal. I'm there for you. Any support or help that you need as a sister should. There's no competition with me. It's all about how can we collaborate, and I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to building business. So that's what makes me Bay, and it stuck as soon as I put it out there. So everybody's calling, hey, Bay, so it fits so well, and I feel like it's ordained by God in a way.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that story. I love that story. And yeah, that was literally confirmation for you in the development of your business. I know even for me, starting this platform for this podcast, it's been rewarding and opportunities have literally opened up left and right. Like as soon as I took that leap to start this platform, and it sounds like that's similarly what happened to you with the Business Bay. Like as you were starting, things just started to open up for you in terms of creating this new platform for the Business Bay, and that is just absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what is it about the Business Bay that keeps you going?
My why.
Mm-hmm.
I think
yes.
I think the why should be the main thing that keeps you moving, because sometimes motivation is just not it. It's enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is just coming from being just transparent. You know, as an entrepreneur, you know, motivation is just not enough. You know, you can be inspired, you can be motivated, but you got to have a strong why to push through all the challenges that comes with entrepreneurship, from being broke to losing money to bad partnerships to, you know, that journey that we all go through building our dream businesses. You know, the why is what keeps me driven and determined. You know, knowing that I stay on this path, then the life I want to live, I'll be able to live it. And may that be me being the wealthiest woman in the world. May it be me being just comfortable and happy being able to travel with my kids, my family's taken care of from my brand. You know, either way, you know, I don't want to work for anybody else in a 9 to 5, working their dream. And my family is my why, you know, and I know the people and the women that I see, they inspire me so much. I feel like I have a lot of women that expect me to show up because them keep going. And some people, I don't know who they are. I just know there's some little girl out there that is watching me, or some woman who's crying, trying to figure it out, and she logs on to Instagram and she sees something that I'm doing and makes her get up and change her life or save her life, or, you know. And so when I think of those things, I don't think and not be selfish. I actually sit and think of everyone else, like, you know, that's my job in the world, is to inspire and to really empower. And I know that sounds so cliche.
I know, but it's so true.
Mama, if you tell me what you want to do, I want to inspire women around the world. Like, but genuinely, you know, deep inside, I've been doing this a long time before social media. And, you know, it's part of my life purpose to get out here and set an example for young girls and women, on the example, honestly, from persevering and pushing through life challenges and fighting, being a fighter for your life and winning is huge for me. And that's a huge why. I gotta win.
Yes.
And I want you to see me fighting. Because if I can fight through all my stuff I got going on behind the scenes, if I can fight through it, everybody has their own story. And I just want to make sure that everybody's story ends the way that they want to. And it can. It really can. You can change your story. You know, you don't have to live in your past and your turmoil or your pain or whatever it is that you're facing. And a lot of us, I love the name of the podcast, Mediocre to Masterful, because a lot of us do feel mediocre. A lot of us are putting out not our very best or being our best because they don't know what an example of greatness is in their life or what it looks like. They just dream of it. Taking those certain steps and actions and pushing yourself that you want to be great is what's going to get you from mediocre to a master. So that's my why, you know. And it's almost kind of like I got something to prove to myself. You know, it's not, you know, revenge is the best recipe to success. So, you know, success is the best recipe to revenge, but sometimes you gotta have some revenge on yourself.
Yes, you know? Yes, keep yourself accountable.
Yeah, you know, like, okay, girl, you know, I know you're mad at everybody, and you got some haters or whatever, whoever they are, but you know, you ain't been good to yourself either over these years. You know, like, you gotta take accountability for who you are and your actions and where they brought you. So success, you know, pushing yourself out of some of the mess that you make yourself. You know, you got to be your best competition, and a lot of us are our own worst enemy, and we got to treat each other better. And I think that women knowing how to change themselves from victim to fighter and winner is huge for me.
Mm.
And that they can get out of that state of mind and that state of life. I've seen, I've seen women 3-time breast cancer survivors that are bench pressing 600 pounds and
Oh my
the
gosh.
mountains and, doing
Yes.
things, and women that don't have arms and legs that are taking care of kids and driving cars and still working. Like, we don't have any excuses as to why we can't be great. And that is what I live by. I don't have any excuse to why I can't be great. Some days I don't feel good. I ain't feeling it. I'm okay with that. Other days, I am. That's life, That's my why. That's what I push through. Those are the things that I think about when I get up every day and I go in my business. It's like I gotta fight for my family. I gotta fight for myself. And I gotta make, rest in peace my mom and my aunt and my uncle. I gotta make them happy. When they see me and they look down, they say, okay, she did it. She changed her life. She's doing what she loves. She's living a happy life.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of us don't know what happy looks like.
Oh yes. Oh yes. They don't even know if it's right in front of their face because they've played the victim for so long, like the point that you made earlier. And if you're stuck in that mentality, you don't know what happiness looks like. Well, that is awesome. I think there's a couple of things that you said in that explanation that stood out to me. And one is, and I've said this on past podcasts, this sounds so cliche. Like, it does sound super cliche, but it is the absolute truth. And people would not be saying this decades upon centuries upon whatever if the steps to success, the steps to happiness were not true. So I think a lot of the points that you hit on were absolutely true, and I totally stand by them. Another point that you made that I thought was really good, that what keeps you going is you are able to encourage some other young girl or young woman out there who sees themselves in you. How powerful has the support of other women been in your success, whether that be a stranger or a mentor?
It is a requirement to have advisors, mentors, coaches, whether they're men or women. I don't believe it has to be just a woman. Men make great coaches and mentors to women. They give a great, strong edge to a different curve of encouragement. But having a circle of women around you that are doing a little bit better than you, got a little bit more money in the bank, it's super. It's like girl power, It's
yeah,
like,
it is.
It's like you're a woman and you're popping, and you're my mentor, you're my coach. It's inspiring.
Yes.
It makes you say, I can be like her, or not. You gotta be yourself. But let's be honest. We have women that we look up to, and like, man, like, I don't know what she got going on behind the scenes, but sister is doing it, And if I can have her coach me or mentor me, I know I will have the right guidance. From woman to woman, we all gotta support each other because we can relate to each other more, of course, than men. But just seeing a woman that's doing something amazing, that's feeding into you, and even if it wasn't someone that was doing better than you, but someone that had the same mindset as you and goals and was pushing just as hard as you were, somebody that was holding you accountable, like a business bestie or something like that, is a great person to have in your life, because you're not walking in it alone. Because even with family and, if you have a husband or your kids or coworkers or even your personal friends, a lot of them may not really understand what you're going through when it comes to building a business and can relate.
Right.
So
right.
A lot of times this space is lonely, because they don't really have an idea of what it's really like when you're especially full-time. And so when you have women around you that are full-time in their brands too, they're crying through it too, they're they're winning just like you are, and or they're there just to encourage you and say, sister, keep going when nobody else is saying anything to you.
Yes.
I think it's key to find you a tribe to hold on to. And that's one thing that's also kept me going, is to not let my tribe down, because my tribe is what has fed me for so long in regards to just nourishment of, spirituality and positive mindset and inspiration and motivation, that at times when I do want to break down and maybe give up or not, I look back at my tribe and you got these smiling faces that are kicking butt in
right.
and they were just down last week, or you hear from them like, yeah, girl, I was feeling like that yesterday, but today, I'm at my goal, and you just keep going, sister. Like, that's just so good to hear from someone, and consistently being around a tribe like that just really just makes you feel like, you got a support system, and we need a strong support system as an entrepreneur to make it through, because it's hard.
It is. Yeah. It is. Having that network, having that tribe makes all the difference, because you might, like you said, you might not have the support of your immediate family or even your immediate friends, just because they don't get it or they don't understand. So having that tribe of women who are, following the same ranks as you or doing a little bit better than you, like you mentioned, is all the difference in making sure that you remain accountable, that you don't let yourself down, that you don't let the tribe down because they're rooting for you. So it really does matter. And it takes time to cultivate those relationships as well. So
it does, and that's the part that some people miss in relationship building. They think that you just meet someone, or you just get a card, or you're on the internet and you say hi one time.
Right.
When you go back, it's like, hey, what's up? It's for my business, and it doesn't work like that, right? Relationship building is a process, and it takes time with a person. It's kind of almost like I was saying in my training yesterday. It's almost like dating. You gotta get to know the person. You gotta see if you guys are great together. You gotta maybe meet up for coffee and see what, hey, what you working on? What you working on? Bounce, some ideas off of each other if you want to. Check on them. Hey, how you doing? I don't want nothing. I just want to say hello.
Right.
I see you're a part of something. How's that going for you? Any support you need from me? Serving them is huge in relationship building, especially the people who are kind of doing better than you. Like, if you want to create a 7-figure circle around you, which we should all have.
Mm-hmm.
When you're approaching millionaires and 6-figure people and 8-figure people, and you're kind of close in their circle, find out how to serve at their events. Find out if you can help them post on social media, show up to what they're doing, buy their book, talk about their book, before you go and jump in trying to pick their brain,
Yes. Yes.
There's a way that there's a certain kind of etiquette when it comes to relationship building, so people don't feel like, because everybody's kind of guarded, and a lot of people have trust issues, because building businesses and as entrepreneurs, we've got burned. I don't know not one entrepreneur that hasn't been burnt by creatives or partners or friends and things like that while trying to build their dream. So we all got to be careful about how we approach people and how to build a relationship with them, but be genuine about it, and I think that's one thing that's made me really successful with building the relationships that I have, and having a multi-million-dollar network is all about, I'm not selfish. It's not about me. It's about, how can I help you? I'm here to support you. If you support me, you do. If you don't support me, fine. I'll know at that time, but I'm not looking to get support from you. I'm just looking to be a part of your tribe.
Right.
What I'm trying to do to support you in that. If I join your Facebook group, I'm not just going to go and throw a flyer in there. I'm going there, engage with people, comment on the posts, share somebody's stuff and say, hey, girl, I see you winning. Why don't you guys, I saw this in the group. Y'all, that's going to be good. And people pay attention to stuff like that because it's not normal. It's not normal for people to stand out like that. Yep. That's what makes you unique, where they were like, as soon as you're posting something, they still reciprocate from my experience.
Yep.
So, yeah, relationship building should be every entrepreneur's number one priority on a daily basis. What kind of relationships am I going to build today for my business?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I going to connect with? Who should I call and check on? Just randomly say hello. And who do I need to email just to say hello to and to schedule a virtual coffee date, or maybe we can meet up and sit down and support each other in some kind of way. You should be building these type of relationships every single day. Because when you start doing that, you'll kind of notice that your sales may increase as well. Because you're reaching out, you're building these relationships, and you're building solid relationships, and you're not really selling to people. You're really just making yourself known. Hey, I'm here. This is what I do. I would love to connect with you to see how we can work together, or I can be any service to you at all, and vice versa.
Yeah, I think the key word that you used there was reciprocate. Like, when you're trying to build these relationships, of course, you're looking for the people who have a lot of influence, who has a lot of followers, or that you just really enjoy and you like following them online because of their powerful and inspirational messages. But when you are trying to build these relationships, make sure it's reciprocated and that you are not that person just reaching out to them to say, hey, I want to pick your brain. I want to pick your brain. I want to find out about this. Give me advice about this. Because they're receiving those type of messages multiple times a day in any given week. So to be able, and I think you made a great point where you're just, dropping those little notes in like a Facebook group to say, hey, wanted to share this message because I, follow this group and I thought you guys would enjoy it. Being able to share something with someone who you see as a mentor, or who you would like to be your mentor, without always thinking you need to take from them as well. So I think that was a great point.
Right.
Like what you hear? Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Mediocre to Masterful, and on Twitter at M2Masterful. And when you check out our website, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter for freebies and information about upcoming podcasts and ways to master your goals. So getting into more of the daily hustle and bustle of entrepreneurship, one of the things that I know new entrepreneurs struggle with, and you know what? I'm not even going to say new. This could be any entrepreneur, new or somewhat seasoned, struggle with managing multiple facets of their business. But whether that's marketing, working on some PR stuff, working on sales, working on design, working on my website, working on building new products. How can this entrepreneur balance it all? Like, what advice can you give to them?
I've learned over time multitasking is not a good idea. Coming from a techie background and many other things that I do, I'm used to multitasking and having what we like to call creative brain. We don't call it ADD, but a creative brain. And we have a lot of things going on in our head, many ideas that's happening, and then the unfortunate side of, I need money. Like, I need to make some money because we got bills, and then you got to be a mom, and you have to be a wife, then you got to be a daughter, and a cousin, and, auntie, that work and life balance is so hard as an entrepreneur because we do a lot building brands, coming up with ideas, because one idea comes with, a marketing strategy, social media posts and flyers and events to promote it in the launch date, and then marketing again, and then it's just one idea, and then a lot of us put out a whole bunch of products and hoping to get them to sell and trying so many strategies. And then we can't talk about the education. Got to go to an event to network, and then got to learn how to run a business by taking all these courses and classes. And when do I have time to promote? It's so much. And then we can talk about, wait, did I cook dinner today? Did I shower today?
I know, right?
Right?
Too funny.
Did my family eat yet? I don't know.
Did I eat yet? Like,
my son make it home from school. No, I don't have time to comb my hair yet. Leave me alone, okay? So that work and life balance is tough.
yeah.
My recommendation is one thing that has helped is to start every night with a to-do list for the day, the next day. You know, when you get settled, and at the end of the day, really write out what needs to be accomplished the next day, you know, and do from priority to low priority, high priority to low priority. Meaning the high things is the how must be done first, and the low things is like, okay, well, if it doesn't get done tomorrow, it's no big deal. I'll reschedule it for the next day type thing, right? So that way you're going into your day already with most of it planned. Like, hey, okay, you know, I can kind of go focus, because a lot of times some entrepreneurs who just wake up out of bed and say, okay, time to try to make some money today.
Yeah, that's the wrong mentality.
We can't do it like that, right? Because that's when you're going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, not a successful business anyway.
And not a successful business. You can't just wake up and work, go to work, go sit in your chair and work. Just like you go and clock into your 9 to 5. You have a 9 to 5 schedule. You got to go take a break at 10, 15. You got to do this through this time frame. You got to respect your business the same way. And speaking of schedule, I definitely really believe that every entrepreneur should create some type of business hours where they're open to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we have this, oh, we're open 24/7, and you're managing emails and customer and clients all day, every single day, without any type of boundaries, where you don't have a moment to focus on just the admin stuff of your business or your own family. So, you know, having business hours can really help with your time management and getting you balanced. I have business owners. I really try hard to stick with them. But it feels good that when I'll see my office closed at 6 o'clock, I can breathe because I'm not bothered by clients and customers.
Yes.
I can take a moment to kind of de-stress, see if I can get in here and make dinner, you know. And then after everybody goes to bed, if I'm still up, I like to kind of come in and, you know, do some little quiet work on myself and be the creative that I am, you know. So finding out that groove is really important, and sticking to it, creating a habit of the schedule. And the schedule also includes, if you're a mom or a single mom or a wife, is including those hubby and children duties within your task, you know. That's really huge. Another thing helps is delegating. You know, we want to do everything. You know, you're spending 50 hours on social media, and you already don't know how to work social media. So why?
Right.
Get you a social media manager, girl, and just call it a day.
Right.
Okay. Get you some interns from a college, and have them just post for you. Even if you just create the content and then just make sure those posts go out, so that way you stay consistent. You're not spending 10 hours in Facebook groups and posting on social media and getting distracted when you start seeing Beyonce pictures somewhere, and then you're stuck watching videos. You're supposed to be working in your business.
Right.
So I think a lot of these little tips right there, and doing one project at a time. We get so overwhelmed trying to create multiple streams of income to try to get money from everywhere.
Yep.
But in actuality, we end up with a bunch of unfinished businesses. And that all of them aren't making any money, and you end up spending more, investing in more than one business that's not really giving you any return, than actually focusing on one project and seeing that project through. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Pick the next project.
Mm-hmm.
So if we stop multitasking so much and slow down a little bit, then you're going to make it. You're gonna make it. 'Cause you can't rush this process. Stop rushing. Take your time with things, and take your time. But don't be afraid to put stuff out there just to see if it works. If you're working on something, a lot of times we hold on to stuff. We hold on to things, and we're working on something, and we're like, I don't know if anybody likes it. I'm gonna create something else that I think might be better. And then you're sitting on that. I'm like, nobody's not gonna like that. I'm gonna create something else. So you've created probably about 10 new projects, 2 new products, 20 different services, and have yet to launch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you might want to rethink that.
Yeah. So that also adds to your plate because now you're creating so many different tasks and things you're doing. But in actuality, the real deal, sis, is you're scared that first idea that you had was actually the moneymaker. You didn't know it. It's almost like when you see someone come out with an invention or an idea and they make millions, you're like, why I ain't think of that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because they just launched, regardless if people launch stuff with prototypes. People launch stuff without a prototype, So yeah.
I think that point is really key, and I think I would say there's a thin line between actually walking in your purpose and actually chasing the dollar, because I feel like that example you just gave is you have all these multiple ideas that you think you want to put out there as a product, but in some cases you might be thinking about, well, if I can sell it for this much, I might get a quick return and get this sale that I want. And I feel like if you're chasing the dollar, you won't actually get that return you're looking for, which is the reason why these people find themselves in this endless loop of, okay, let me start something else. How can people stay true to their gifts in order to see success in their business?
I mean, it's hard because it's hard to stay true to your gifts if you don't know what your gift is. Because a lot of people don't know.
That's a great point.
And so we're out here searching, trying to learn ourselves in the space of entrepreneurship. Like, what makes me happy? And is this what I want to do? No, it doesn't feel right. I think maybe I should be doing this. Oh, I don't know. And then you're seeking for answers. But while you're doing that, again, you're creating businesses and projects that all turn into hobbies. So the first thing is really getting a clear idea of who you are. You got to know yourself. You got to know what you love to do and what you're really good at. Some people don't even realize that you're probably really, instead of selling hair bundles, trying to have a 7-figure hair bundle brand, you're probably really good at being a life strategist. You're probably missing your calling, or you could be out here trying to be a life coach, and you're probably better at graphic design and web design because that's something you've been doing all your life and never thought about really charging for it because it's a hobby but you're good. You're better at that than being a coach.
Yeah.
So if you take a step back and know yourself and actually think, what am I actually good at? And I'm so good at it, and I love it so much that I can do it for the rest of my life and not get paid for it.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think the hair bundles was a great example because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of women out there who see these other women on social media making millions in the hair bundle industry, and they're like, you know what, I should start that too. Let me see how I can do that. But like you said, if you're good at something else, pursue that. Don't try to do what someone else did because you're just trying to meet that dollar figure.
That's where the money is.
Yeah. It's not going to work out.
I do, because that's where the money is right now.
Right.
Okay, but if you ever notice when people jump into things because that's where the money is, I don't really know any, unless you're like a millionaire and you make smart investments.
Correct.
Unless you're on like the 7-figure, 8-figure level, you're out there making type investments or venture capitalists and things like that. That's when I would agree that you will probably say, hey, I'm going where the money is. I follow the money type thing, right? That's where that term comes from stock watching the stock market, watching the stock, watching certain investments flow, and you got to watch what the money is and all that good stuff. But, you know, on this level, you know, from 0 to 6 figures, sis, you're going to have to find what you love to do and stop trying to watch everybody else's pockets and how they're making money. Because
Yes.
that's the 7-figure wig slayer. You don't know her story. She probably been doing hair since she was 10 years old. And she knows hair like the back of her hand. She probably lived in China while she was in the military for so long. And built relationships with wholesalers. You just don't know what their relationship is, and here you go struggling buying all these bundles, trying to find out, don't even know the hair. Try to make investments and sell hair because everybody else is just doing it. You know, be yourself in your lane, because people can see that. They can see the authenticity. They can see in your brand how true you are to and passionate about your work. It shows in your customer service. It shows in your branding. It shows as a partner. It really shows. I know when I work with people, when they are in a space that they're supposed to be in. I know instantly, you know, because people work with people who are confident. You know, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a business yet. If you're good at something, if you're an expert at something, you've been really good at it and you love it, you're still that more confident about it when you talk about it.
Yeah.
I love confident entrepreneurs, because confident entrepreneurs love what they do because they know it. They know their stuff.
Yes. I think everything that we just talked about could be eliminated, and people don't have to go down these rabbit holes of, you know, trying to figure out what they want to do, wearing multiple hats, starting multiple businesses because they don't know what it is, but they're trying to chase the dollar. All this can be solved if people would just sit down, think about what they're good at, what they find happiness in, and creating that business plan, creating that project plan, that goals list of things that they want to achieve at the beginning before they just jump right into a territory that they're unfamiliar with. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a huge Bible as far as a project plan or a plan for your business, but at least list out some of the things that make sense. What is your 1-year plan? Not that you just want to buy 10 bundles and flip it, you know, within a week, but what is your plan after that? Like, what do you want to do within the quarter? If you want to do it by quarters, what are you going to do in the next 3 months in your business? What are you going to do within the year of your business?
Right. That's another place where we fail at. A lot of entrepreneurs don't plan. They just, because they don't want to do the work of the planning part. You know, they just want to create, and they just want to put it out there, hoping somebody will buy. But you don't have to have a serious, hardcore business plan starting off like you would, like you're pitching for an investor or a bank.
Right.
You know, you need just a plan for yourself. You know, where do you see yourself as a successful woman, entrepreneur, in 5 years? Like, if you actually close your eyes and visualize your life, what will life be like as someone happy and free and debt free, and your kids are happy? Like, what does that life look like to you? And what is it that you're doing in that space that has you there? Okay, you have that. Okay, so you want to start a therapy center. That's what a happy life looks like for you. That's success. Okay, sis. So work backwards.
Yes.
Okay, you got a therapy center in your mind. That's what you visualize in the next 5 to 10 years. Work backwards. How much is this therapy center going to cost? What type of licenses do you need? How many therapists do you want to hire? Are you already in therapy? Where do you need to start? Do you want to just start in life coaching first? How is that going to go? Okay, work backwards. How much money? Okay, that means you need to make a certain amount of money over the next certain kind of years. You need to save that. Okay, you know now that you need to make at least 6 figures a year. Okay, so what type of services that you offer right now that's going to help you accomplish that goal where you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? That's how you create your personal plan.
Somebody just paused this podcast and rewound so they could write down those lists of questions that you just said. For sure, they're probably jotting that down. Like, okay, I need to ask these questions to myself.
These questions.
Yeah.
You gotta have a conversation with yourself. Listen, hiring a business coach is part of that process,
Mm-hmm.
because they can help you bring these. You're opening the right one anyway. It's supposed to help you open your mind up to these ideas and open up the vision that you have as a successful person to save your life. And this is another thing. Seeing yourself that way is another why. It's like, I know it, I see it so clear, and I know it's going to take me some years to get there, or maybe happen sooner if you plan properly.
Mm-hmm.
But just knowing the outcome of where you're going is going to really help you know how to start. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't see clearly where you want your life to be like as a successful woman entrepreneur, how do you know where you're going? You're blind. You're walking around. You can't, for example, we drive every single day. You know your destination all the time.
Mm.
But a lot of us don't know our destination to vacation for our life.
Yeah.
Our life. Don't you, when you get in the car, you put your GPS on, you look for the address, you look at the right streets on the map on how to get there to the destination, but guess what you need first? You need your destination first in order to plan your trip.
Mm.
So anyone can really be, this is why success is achievable. This is why dreams can come true, because you got to know what your dream is. You got to know what you see for yourself in your life and for who you really want to be for you without anybody else's opinion. Because we do get distracted by that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When people say, no, you should be doing this, or that's stupid, or, we have a different plan, because that takes you away from your ultimate objective. And as soon as you get off from your ultimate objective, off your path, you're sidetracked, and your vision gets further and further away from you. But this is what happens that's why the word is called drive. Right? That's why that drive word is so important, because when you have your destination for your life, you say, this is where I'm going to be by doing this. And I know if I do this, this is what I want. This is who I'm going to be. This is who I am. And I'm going to walk in that. And when you start doing that, you create a map to get to that destination, just like you get in a car going to a destination to where you're supposed to go. Mm. You create that map, and your drive is supposed to literally drive you to success. I mean, you see it clear enough that you got to drive there, but you need drive to get there. And I think when people start really stopping for a minute and meditating on what they want their life to be, visualization is really huge for me.
Oh, yes.
And, affirming that better things manifest for them. And if you always stay focused on your ultimate objective, which is your dream, and stop saying yes to things that are not aligned with your ultimate objective.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I think you would be less overwhelmed with not accomplishing anything than actually accomplishing things that'll take you to where you're trying to go.
That's good. Yeah, you can't say yes to everything. I, at one point in time, used to be that person that wanted to go to every single event, every single networking event, workshop, conference, and if a lot of those opportunities didn't align with my purpose, it didn't serve me in any way. So it led me further away from what I'm supposed to do. So I think that last point was really good. And in general, the steps that you just shared in terms of trying to find your gifts is powerful and absolutely true. And I'm pretty sure people are like nodding their head like, yes, this is what I needed to hear. Oh, that was awesome.
It's real. It's so real. Meditation, knowing oneself, visualization, I'm very spiritual in more ways than one. And I definitely believe that God is all in us. And
Yes.
he speaks with us in ways that you sometimes overlook. And that one answer that you're looking for of who you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to go, it all is in visualization and meditation. And sometimes you gotta shut the hell up and be quiet and sit still
Oh my
sometimes.
gosh, yes, that is the God honest truth.
And
That's so true.
sit in silence and get away from the noise from everyone and everything, and just be quiet and
Mm-hmm.
close your eyes and see what you need to see for you and what's going to make you happy and where you need to go. And a lot of times I do that. I do that on a daily basis, especially when I feel off balance. Like today, to be honest, today was like, okay, I wasn't ready. Okay, I wasn't ready for today. Clearly, I was not ready. I don't care how many to-do lists I had today. It was just one of them days. Okay. And anytime I feel like that, I sit still. I go in my bedroom. I get away from the computer. I turn the phones off for a minute so the vibration is not distracting. And I sit there and I see where I am right now. And sometimes you might see yourself in a bunch of chaos around you. Everything's noisy. But then I take myself out of it in my mind and I look at what my end goal, my destination is. And naturally, it's going to put you in a position where you can kind of see the roadmap. And this is why meditation is important when it comes to making the right decisions. Because sometimes if you stop and you be patient with yourself and you pray and you talk to God and you wait for an answer, you're patient, that next step, you're going to see it
Mm-hmm.
because you have a clear mind and seeing your path and where you're trying to go outside of the chaos. And then you can sit back and start moving again when you get overwhelmed and not sure. That's huge. You gotta be in tune with you. You got to.
Yeah, there's actually a quote that I saw and I just posted. It said, "Be quiet enough to hear God's voice so that you can find your own." So I think what you just said directly aligns with that quote that I found today.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
What do you tell your clients when they ask, "How should I price my products and services?" I feel like that's like the most infamous question of all.
It is the most power. It's the most asked question. It's the question that is very unclear. And there's fear behind that too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fear because one, we feel like, okay, I don't want to charge too much and not anyone buy, but then I don't want to charge too low, and then people think I'm a cheap brand, and then I get all these random customers, and I'm overworked. First things first, know your value, charge your worth. I know I said it backwards, but this is the truth. You gotta know how valuable you are. And this goes back to what I was talking about in your expertise. How confident are you in your business and your services and what you're offering? If you know you're valuable, then you need to present that in your products and services, the value. Two, you need to understand who your ideal client is, your target market. That's part of the branding homework that people hate doing because they don't really understand how to define the target market. How do I research this person? And it's simple. It's just like dating. We all have a preference of someone you like to date. You might like someone who's 5'9", chocolate, college educated, makes a certain amount of money per year. They like their hobbies are basketball, football, something. I mean, if you can do that for a relationship or dating, why can't you do that for your ideal customer? Because they got to date you too. It's a dating process. They got to get to know you. They got to buy your product.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest way to look at it in regards to identifying your ideal client is, who would you date as a customer? If she walked into your office right now and she had a check to pay you exactly what you want, your worth, what does she look like? Is she married? Does she have kids? Is she frustrated? How is she feeling? Why is she there in the first place?
Mm.
Is she overworked? Is she overwhelmed? She really needs her products? your service. How much money does she make? Because the amount of money your client makes really determines your prices. You can't be out here with $10,000 coaching packages and your either client or the people that you're marketing to only make $30,000 a month, $30,000 a year.
Yeah, you got to reevaluate that one.
Yes. Also, you can't have I want them to make six-figure plus, but you're charging $50 for a 1-year coaching package.
Yeah, you're not going to catch that audience.
Yeah. So before you even come up with a number, you got to know your audience. That's mandatory. Research how to define my target market. Google. Some of us don't like to read. There's out there that teach you these things. Research. Do the research. Do a survey on your social media. Find out if the people that you're actually talking to on social media is your customer.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times when we survey our people on social media, get some of your followers to do your survey, you'll learn that they are not your ideal client. And you'll probably see, once you do create your package, you put it out there, why it's not selling. But it'll help you get clarity on what to create for them, so that way you can make social media money as well. It's a different conversation. But understanding your ideal customer, how much they make, and what they want. What problem are you solving? How valuable is that? People spend thousands and thousands of dollars on things that don't even need to solve the problem. They just find the value in it. But they're the right market, they can afford it. So it doesn't matter. Right? And then another thing is huge is your financial goals. You got to, going back to that plan, how much money does your business need to make? How much is it costing you to put this product out? You got to know your numbers. What is your financial goals over the next year? How many, products do you need to sell per month to make your financial goals on a monthly basis? If you want to make $10,000 a month, you can do that so easily with the right target market and a great marketing strategy with the right package that's priced correctly. You can sell a certain amount of those per day. You got to know your numbers. So learning the numbers in your business can really help you. And understanding your market, I really believe that those two combinations right there will help you price your packages, help you be a little bit more confident. A lot of people struggle with that, though, because they're afraid of the number that could come up with it. If I'm not making anything less than $10,000, it's mandatory. So if that means I have to charge $2,500 per person, every single person I'm talking to, then that's what it is. I'm not going any lower than that, because I know I'm valuable, and I know someone out there is going to pay it, because there's people out there that's going to pay more. So I just need to be where the people are that will make sure that they will cut me a check for $2,500 every time I sit on the phone with them.
Exactly.
So you got to have that mindset to know that whatever rate you charge is going to help you reach your financial goals in your business and in your personal life. That is mandatory for you, and that you are valuable in that, and you deliver on your services and represent your company well on your company's brand promise. But stop being afraid of those rates. You're valuable, and a lot of entrepreneurs charge way too low for their prices because they're scared.
And I feel like a lot of people, a lot of fears in that.
And what happens is they're doing it because they just need to make money. Let me just throw this right on here, because I really just want to make money. I want to make my money back, and I know I should be charging more, but I just can't. Somebody said they had a budget of $100, and I just took it because I gotta pay my power bill tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's so common, right? And I get it. That's why you create other little products and services that have, smaller price tags on them for those people, that can create that type of like webinars or classes or, small projects. But I always recommend customers to have any business owner to have a VIP package. That's their main priority to sell. And that's huge. And I think that's huge in our community as African Americans. A lot of us are afraid to charge what we're worth, because if I went to any other race of people, if they told me a rate, that was it. They're not budging on that.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't even bat an eye. They would not even blink.
But that's another conversation of how we get in the psychology of that.
Yeah.
But I hope that helps someone.
Yeah, and I think depending on what type of business you have, you can create multiple streams of income in that one business. So if you are that person saying, I only charged them $100 because that's all they had and I needed to pay my light bill, well, that means you need to come up with some other products and services where you can make money while you sleep as well. If the only product that you offer is something that you have to manually, physically be there to give to that person because you're trying to pay a light bill, which is the wrong idea. But just consider other things where it's a little bit more low touch as well, so you don't always have to be the person behind the product, but the product is available for your clients at any time.
Right.
Great points. I love that. That's a great point. So I hope that really helped some entrepreneurs out there. And the most infamous question of entrepreneurship ever. So we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the start of your business. We talked about, wearing multiple hats in your business and how to manage time management, and to delegate and to automate some things and to finding your purpose within your business and your calling, and how to price your products and services. With all that, with the Business Bay, you are pouring so much knowledge, so much information into other people and your business and your other businesses as well that we mentioned at the start of this show. How do you integrate self-care in all of this throughout this process of being an entrepreneur, a mom, and an entrepreneur of many businesses?
It's hard.
Yeah, I know we talked about meditating earlier too.
Like, girl, I'll be at the spa every week and I sit and meditate and do yoga every morning. I am not going to do that. I'm just like all the other entrepreneurs out there that are working their way to $1 million and sometimes forget about themselves, right?
Yeah.
But while you're talking, I do have a facial book tomorrow that I'm super excited about getting to. It's little things like that. Originally I call myself every small win, I did something for me. So even if it was just, if I launched a new product, I'm going to go get my toes done because they look a mess. I ain't had my toes done in forever. Or, if I close a big client, I can invest in my favorite bundles because, bundles ain't cheap, and get me a nice wig made, things that make you happy, to make you feel rewarded, to take care of yourself. But one thing that is really big for me is getting rest. Stop trying to be the, I'll never sleep. I'll sleep when I die entrepreneur.
Oh my gosh, I really hate that phrase.
I was like that for a long time. I would go days and not sleep.
Yeah.
Because I was so excited and I had so many ideas and I just needed money so badly, and I was in hustle mode, and you couldn't stop me or tell me nothing until you start seeing the little weird wrinkles on your face starting at 34 years old, and you're like, hold up, wait a minute. What? Or your memory starts getting bad, or, you start getting chunky because you eat more at night, staying up, you're not eating healthy. It's not really healthy for you to do that. So I think that my number one tip in self-care is getting sleep. I get to the point where if it doesn't get done, it just don't get done today. Once my body feels tired, when I'm tired looking at this computer screen, I shut it down. I completely turn it off. Now not saying I don't lay in the bed and get on my phone and, do some stuff on social media, but I shut my brain off from my business and I go to bed and I get my rest. No more of the days of 1-2 hour day sleep. That's huge for me. That's really huge. But taking some time out to invest in yourself in ways that, you need, like your health and getting back, the importance of eating right. I was on a diet for like a whole week and it just felt good because my mind was clear, because I got, just like naturally a lot of entrepreneurs, you get caught up in not wanting to work out and, things like that. So I was in that phase for a while, which a lot of us can relate. And so, this weight loss journey is challenging along with all the other entrepreneur challenges. You think just being an entrepreneur is challenging? How about trying to lose weight and being an entrepreneur? Oh God, the stresses. And so, the sleep, eating right, taking care of yourself, getting up and getting your exercise, at least walking around the block. I didn't learn how out of shape I was until I went for a walk. You never know that until you go walking. So that was funny to me. But yeah, that's I think that's real self-care. We can talk about go get a massage, sit in the bubble bath, pour some lavender in it. But the real thing is wealth. Your health is real wealth. Going to your doctor's appointments, things like that, you got to make sure you make time for. So that's what I'm currently doing right now is making sure I'm eating right, making sure I can get active and get out of my chair in my office, getting more rest, doing things to help with my skin so I don't get all wrinkled up because I'm from entrepreneur stress. All those things really make me happy and makes me really stress free.
Yeah, I think those are all really good points, and it's a constant reminder because, even the other entrepreneurs that I've interviewed, they're like, you get so wrapped up in your business, like you don't have a stop button because you just know I need to get this done, and then by the time you look up, it's 9:00 at night, and you're still trying to work on some things with your business. You had a new idea come to mind, so you're trying to plan out what it would look like. So it's really, when it comes to self-care, it's something that you have to make time for because it's easy to forget. Like you mentioned, it's just easy to just be so consumed by your business and forget the self-care piece. So
all right.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing that because I think that's going to help those entrepreneurs out there who are like heads down nonstop all the time to be like, you know what, let me shut this laptop down today and get my nails done because I have just been.
Don't look at the time. Like I know I started around 9:30 this morning. I looked up and it was 6:00. I said, wait, I got an interview. Like, you get so tired, you don't be watching the clock. Only time you watch the clock is if you got a meeting or something like that. But you're not, subconsciously, you're kind of like just going through the motion of your day.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get things done, trying to meet your sales goals. And then you look at the day and a whole nother day has gone by.
Yep. And you mentioned earlier the phrase sleep when you die. Like I have not enjoyed that phrase ever. I think I might have been guilty of it at one point in time, but I enjoy my sleep. And I actually mentioned this on another episode about the art of planning, about that phrase. And I just could not get with it because like what you mentioned where you're like, okay, I'm tired. I'm just going to shut down. Whatever doesn't get done today will get done tomorrow. That's exactly how I operate because I just know I won't be producing my best work if I'm trying to, burn the midnight oil with, my mind is all over the place. My mind still has the full day of activities that I just completed. I'm not going to be, pushing out my best work at 1:00 in the morning. So you just have to, press that pause button and pick it up in the morning or whenever. So let's see. What are 3 masterful tips any entrepreneur should follow? I think we covered some really good things in our previous topics, but are there 3 things that you would offer entrepreneurs that they should consider?
Have a plan, set goals, and focus on one thing at a time.
I love that last one. Those are really good. Adria, do you have any upcoming events with your business, with your brand that people can meet you at or reach out to you, and how can people connect with you?
Yes, so I'll be speaking at MobileCon here in Atlanta, November 8th through the 10th. Definitely go to mobilecon.com conference, women conference. It's going to be amazing. That's November. December 1st, I'll be in Raleigh for an award show there. I'm the keynote speaker for December 8th through the 10th. It seems like the 8th or the 10th is like my date. Also, if you're in Atlanta, we are doing our Business Besties. We have a co-founder of Business Besties Society. It's a women's organization that's catered to having your own accountability partner and get business resources. When we do business boot camps and trainings, things like that with our members. It's a membership program. We just launched the Indianapolis chapter today. So we have Atlanta chapter, Houston chapter, Indianapolis chapter.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So the Atlanta chapter is hosting their holiday brunch. Christmas brunch December 15th. We are still working on the details on that, but if you follow me at the Business Bay on Instagram, you'll definitely, and you can follow at the Business Bay on all the social media channels. You'll get more details on that. If you're in Houston, they're having their Thanksgiving brunch next month. You can follow them at Business Besties Houston. Then, trying to get this book finished whenever I can get it done.
Take your time, girl. Take your time.
Right, but I know it's going to be a masterpiece. And I really want to have a lot of it done before the beginning of the year. And then Indianapolis, they're going to have their first brunch in February 22nd or 23rd. So I got a lot of things coming up. But you can follow me at the Business Bay to get connected to a lot of these amazing events that we're doing.
Awesome. Well, be sure to put that in the show notes as well so people have that information available. But Adria, I greatly appreciate you being here today and sharing a wealth of knowledge about entrepreneurship and some really good nuggets. I'm over here taking notes myself, like, okay, I need to apply that. I need to apply that into my life. So I really enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you. I had a great time.
Hey there, Mediocre to Masterful is online. Visit mediocretomasterful.com to listen to our podcast or find us on iTunes. Share this episode with those you know in need of motivation. Through our site, you can join our Masterful email list to get freebies and helpful information. We're also on Instagram at Mediocre to Masterful and Twitter at M2Masterful. Thanks for listening.